Um, we're going to be starting off with perspective. Perspective in the fact that this should have been live 10 minutes ago. And it's actually a perfect segue. I was not actually expecting this to happen, number one. And number two is I kind of chose this video topic out of just reading a bunch of comments, either that's on Instagram or a bunch of videos, or a lot of people complaining, or they're scared or fearful of the future, or money or food or something like that. It's like, what should I order? What should I not order? What about the amount of money that I'm making? Things like that. Those minute things. But I'll talk about the story that actually leads directly into this video. So I go live on this, which is my personal YouTube channel, and then I have the BPI channel, and today we're going to be doing the market report. Market report is probably the most important video that I do here at BPI. And the reason being is that people want to know how much their home is worth. By the way, I'm in real estate. So I literally compile it. It takes me a while, and then I format it so it's easy to read off the piece of paper that I print. Except the thing is, it's not printing. So literally, I don't want to blame anything, but that's essentially why I was a little bit late, is that I was trying to have something print that wasn't printing. So what's the perspective there? The perspective is that you're in an office space that's air conditioned. You have the ability to either go online or to actually talk to people that you would normally not be able to talk to on a mass scale pretty much for free. And I'm the one that's saying my freaking printer will not print a piece of paper. That's a perfect example where I was actually starting to get frustrated, and then I started thinking, dude, the video you're about to make is about perspective. And that's essentially what I want to talk about today, which is, what is the perspective that you have going into, say, a relationship, your new job, into a phone call? What's the perspective when things aren't going the right way? It's easy when you're out on a vacation, you're on a great date, you're getting your paycheck or your commission check, whatever the case is. It's easy then to be like, things are amazing. Things are amazing. Of course they're amazing, because something good happened, okay? So that's conditional on something good happening. I'm not saying bad things don't happen. However, we need to put it in perspective. We need to put in perspective that 100 years, like if you just think of the basics that we have in wherever you live, hopefully you live in a first world country or even a second world country, is that the basics are handled. The basics of, you have food potentially delivered to you at any time that you want. You have water, running water, to take a shower, to go to the bathroom, and to drink, to brush your teeth, to wash your face, to wash your hands. These sanitation things were not around 150 years ago, let alone almost 100 years ago. New York City was sewage. That's how bad it was. It was, the Lower East Side was disgusting. That's why they have tenant museums, to just show you what these people were actually doing. Family members would come over and be put up in a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom, and you literally look at this, it's the size of my office right now. It's tiny. So when I hear people say, oh, easily put in perspective in the fact that there have been a lot worse things that happened, okay? So in other words, when this can't print, I'm not thinking in my mind, oh, I wish it printed or something like that. No, I'm thinking in my mind, okay, it didn't print. There's a lot of people suffering out there. Let's just make amends with it. Let's go solution oriented. I'm not saying don't look at the problem. Tony Robbins says it in 3 ways. Number 1 is look at the problem, okay? Admit you have a problem. Then look at it and say, because there's a lot of people, by the way, that don't admit they have a problem. That's self-aware. Self-aware is, I need to wake up earlier, or I need to make more sales phone calls, or I'm not in shape. Just basic things that they're unwilling to be honest to themselves. And that's the basics, okay? So number 1 is that you have an issue or have a problem, or there's something that you want fixed. Number 2 is look at the problem, how it is, objectively, not subjectively. So in other words, here's an example, is there's a contract out on an apartment. It should have been signed by now, okay? Do I freak out? No. What do I do is I say, okay, what's the solution? I look at it how it is. I don't place blame. I just say, this is how it is. Don't look at it worse than it is, and don't look at it better than it is. Just look at it. It's like it's Elon Musk has first something principles. First principle. I think it's the first principle thinking, which is just go to the common denominator, which all the root causes are leading to. Okay, lack of communication on the attorneys, lack of communication between the attorney and the client, lack of communication. But the core reason is, okay, what do we need to do to get this contract signed? Okay, you go read the condo minutes. You go find out if the actual language in the contract is good enough to sign. So you just break it down and you just say, okay, let's handle each one at the same time. So you look at it and you actually admit, I have a problem. I have an issue. I'm in something I want to actually solve. Number two is look at it how it is, not worse or better than it is. Just objectively look at the issue or the problem. And then put in perspective is, I forget who it was. They said, in 10 years, am I going to remember this problem? If it's something major, like maybe a job transfer, starting a business, getting married, having kids, buying a house, those are major things that is either financially or time or both just consuming in your life. So if it's major or if it's something minor like this, say the deal doesn't go through. Am I going to remember this in 10 years? No, probably not. I'm definitely not going to remember it, okay? Because you want to have, and I talked about this yesterday, you want to have an overview of the future, which is, this is where I'm going. Why am I so just angry about this minor thing that even if this deal doesn't go through, even if the worst case scenario happens, what's the, like, come on now. So today's video is more about not only handling the perspective, number one. Number two is also looking at it and saying, okay, so the perspective is that there are worse things in this world that are happening. Looking at it in the perspective that in 10 years, am I going to remember this? Number two. And the perspective right now, which is, okay, how do we become solution oriented? How do we actually figure this out? How do we not complain about it? How do we not just bitch and moan and complain about it back and forth? We actually find a solution that all parties are going to agree to. All right, so I hope this helped a little bit. I know I'm late on this live. I do apologize. I see that it's streaming. I have no idea if it's actually going up to YouTube. For whatever reason, YouTube just gives me how many people are viewing, and it's at 0. So I don't know if it's actually public, the video. But anyway, hope you guys have an awesome day. If this is your first video, leave your comments below. And obviously, let me know what you want me to talk about. I'm very into personal development, self-development, self-help, whatever you want to call it, where I listen and I read a lot. There's just a lot of absorption going on. And then the number one thing that you have to do is take action. And that's what I'm doing right now. That's the point of my life right now, is taking the action. Have an awesome day. Talk to you guys